Welcome back to the Manor Entropians. Julian McBain here, and today we are going to be doing kind of a how to get started on melee hunting. And for today it's going to be how to get started in long blades, and in my next video I'll do how to get started in short blades. So must be the kitty. So before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please make sure you take a moment and hit the button down here and subscribe. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into the trade terminal here. We're going to pick up the Castorian Combat End Blade B. This is the TT melee long blade. It costs 15 ped. So this is going to be a 15 ped hunt. Now I'm not going to amp this or anything for obvious reasons. And we're just going to go out and we're going to hunt Punies. You find it. It looks like all of my more expensive swords, so I need to find... There it is. See, the Castorian Combat End Blade. We're going to equip that. And we're going to see how we do. So keep in mind, once again, this isn't going to be 100% accurate because I have... Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to get rid of all of those weapons before I do this, because I already calculated them in my spreadsheet. So I want to move these, move that. By the way, I've got a whole lot of Rubios if anyone wants to buy them. There, I need to organize this. Good lord. Throw those on top since we're not using them. There. Okay. Back to our 15 ped hunt. So when you're dealing with, when you're a new long bladesman, it's going to be a 15 ped hunt pretty much straight away. They're all 15 ped, so for those of you playing the home game, that's $1.50 US each hunt. And the goal, of course, would be to get back more in loot than you spend hunting. Now, unlike rifle hunting, when you're doing melee hunting, what you're going to want to do is sell your shrapnel. And this isn't something I would normally recommend. And once you're at the point where you are using the matrix blades that do use ammo, you no longer sell shrapnel. But it would be beneficial to you to sell your shrapnel either to the TT, or sometimes on occasion players will purchase shrapnel for like 100.5%, so they get a little bit of ammo, you get a little extra money. It's not frequent, and I wouldn't rely on it, but it is a thing that can happen. And as you can see, I'm already through almost 15 pec, and I've gotten back about 10. So that's not great. But that's not necessarily going to end up being a flat amount. And this is literally how I started my time in Entropia universe. I spent hours hunting Punies right here at Camp Icarus, just cutting through them with the TT blade. And actually, you can get away with using the TT blade for quite a while. All of the berry cud that I like to hunt over by the Youngs, where are they? They're up here at the Corinth East hangars. All TT blade. Oh, I tried one of the Killian blades, and boy, wasn't that a mistake. 14% efficiency really doesn't do well. But ultimately, our goal is to try to, try to break even, or maybe get a little profit. But if you're early on, the big thing you're getting out of it is skills. And realistically, that's what you have to keep in mind, is you're gaining skills. Ooh, nice one shot there. Because without those skills, you're never going to progress. And the puny challenge is 16,600 mobs. That's quite a bit of hunting you're going to have to do before you graduate from doing punies. But the skills you get in doing so are immense compared to what you would do if you were trying to go hunt a higher level mob raw. It can't be stressed enough that you have to embrace the grind. And I know that you all know that this particular weapon is my specialty, as if my weapons inventory isn't loaded down with swords, more swords than a man can technically carry. Oh, not that one. You'll do. And at some point, and maybe my next video, not my next video, maybe I will do a video. You see, that was a good loot, 26 pack. I'll do a video where I do use my Laconian sword, just so you can see it. That's an 8-ped weapon, kind of like the survival blade. I think is an 8-ped weapon, which will be the short blade we'll be using in the next one. But as you can see, this is fairly easy hunting. It's appropriately grindy. We're getting okay loot. Let's see, we've used not quite 2-ped. 91 pack, 21 pack. So right now we're still taking a loss, which is kind of to be expected, but we're doing okay. We did really well with the pistol, though. I was really tempted to go back and do more. 3-pack isn't much of a profit, but let me tell you, any profit is better than no profit. The irony of this is I'll end up converting my strap because I mostly use ammo burners. So on my spreadsheet, this is going to look like I'm taking a loss when actually I'm just gaining ammo instead of depositing. But this also really illustrates how you can't allow short-term results to impact how you feel about long-term. Because in addition to everything else, I am still gaining skills. Would you kindly target the guy that's right in front of me? Tab targeting. Tab targeting, I swear. Getting a lot of the bone samples too. I don't know if those are actually going to be used for anything anymore. 12 pack, that was a pretty good one. I hope so. I think I'm somewhere near the halfway point. I keep doing these newbie videos and it's going to end up being this. So my goal right now is I'm doing a series using each of the TT weapons. So this time I'm using the combat blade because this is really my specialty. The last time I used the pistol. Next time it'll be the short blade, and then will come the rifle. And then you know what I don't think I've ever used a power fist. I have never, to my knowledge, I don't think I have ever used a power fist as long as I've been in Entropia. That needs to happen. So yeah, we're going to use all the TT weapons and just show what it's like to hunt with each of them, kind of showcase it. Because it's important. You know, what are you going to expect the hunting to be like, and what dangers are you going to face? Because you can see my health is a lot lower now than it ever was with my pistol. My profit's a touch lower too. Or I should say my profit loss statement. But my skills are going up. You also notice that I kill most of these in like 2 hits. Part of that's because of my strength. But I'm not doing any more damage than what the sword can handle. In fact, I think I'm doing fairly average. Yeah, this one can do up to 11. I'm averaging what, 8, 9? So it's not like I'm doing a huge amount. I even miss occasionally. Sorry, I had to respond to a message. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Occasionally, you have to prioritize. And I will always prioritize my lady. Sorry, guys, that just happens. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry for not being sorry about that. So anyway, more important, back to the important stuff here. So the other day I actually did something I haven't done in a long time. I took 100 ped and I went out and I mined. And I took a solid loss. It was like 20 ped loss, so that's not terrible. I gained a lot of skills, I think. But I hadn't done it in a really long time, and so that's another thing that I should probably showcase at some point is low-level mining, low-level crafting. Crafting, I don't know about doing crafting. The reason I'm kind of leery about doing crafting is largely because, well, it's boring to watch. I mean, you just kind of sit there and it cycles. And okay, to be fair, what's the difference between doing that and doing commentary and doing this doing commentary? But you can't die doing crafting, okay? Usually when I craft, I set it up to do something and I just fuck off for a while. Go out and do a chore. That's what it's like. I want to continue working my skills, but I got to do chores. So I'm going to set myself up to craft some explosive projectiles. Which is how you get started there, you know? You grind out explosive projectiles, you do repairs for folks. So, what's this? Modic VXT limited. Kind of like a compromise, because I think the Azuro is very similar. I've never seen this weapon before, so I'm very curious. Oh, it's higher than the Azuro, but lower than the Onyxio. Okay. Good to know. I like how he's selling it for the same price as the Azuro. Or the, well... Oh no, because yeah, even 2 ped for an Azuro isn't terrible. Oh, that didn't work out so well for me. I need to pay more attention. I was paying attention to my chat box. Bad Julian. How are we doing? We're getting there. You'll see that unlike the R Matrix, this actually takes 3 pec per shot. Because of the lower... Part of it's because of the lower... Oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? Efficiency? But part of it's because I don't have this thing amped. I very specifically don't have this amped. Amping a weapon helps with efficiency and helps reduce the amount of decay it takes. Or at least I believe it does. But this also goes through more decay because it's not being offset by ammo use. Oh, 33 pec. That's 11 shots. So that's really what it comes down to. If you know what a weapon does, the average loot needs to at least equal the number of hits that mob has to take. Why would it target the thing in the back? Why would you target the thing in the back? Overall, though, I don't think we're doing terribly. Not doing great, but not doing terribly. Not as good as the pistol, that's for sure. But when it comes to this is something that you're going to have to realize about early Melee. Melee players take it to the chin in the early game. We absolutely do. I honestly think we get more skills overall, but from a cost benefits side of things, you're going to see more decay in your ped card. I have noticed, however, that as I get to a higher level, I seem to be doing better loot-wise. Like, Punies have kind of a cap on what they can produce. Not a solid cap or anything like that, but if you think about it, you're not putting a whole lot into killing them, so they're not going to produce a whole lot of loot. And realistically, Mindark should be punishing me for hunting something that's so below my level that I'm really kind of taking away from the newbies. But I'm doing this for the benefit of new players, so I'll balance my karma out that way. As you can see, we got, what, 27 peck there? So not so bad. But that's the thing, you can, once you know how much it costs per hit, you can calculate whether it's beneficial or not for you to attack a mob. And don't forget, misses are going to happen. That's just a fact of life. There we go. I'm actually surprised it's this quiet, although I shouldn't be. It's a Tuesday afternoon or evening. Some people on the West Coast are still at work. It's currently 18:45 where I am on the East Coast. So that's 17:45 in the Central region where I used to live. 16:45 in the Mountain region. People are just getting ready to get out of work. I used to live in that area too. And then 15:45 on the West Coast. They're still working, hoping that the day will end any faster than it already is. Of course, I don't feel sorry for them because most of them don't deal with this wonderful thing called winter. And if you're from the West Coast and you're watching this, it was 45 degrees this morning, dude. I feel no sympathy that you get out of work after I do. Of course, we have to go in before you do, so I guess it balances out. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. Wow, that was a couple of good loots for these. 13 pack and 16 pack. And players that are used to watching like more advanced hunting, there is nothing attacking you. Would just be like scoffing at these pet amounts. But you got to start somewhere, and you really need to understand what it's realistic to look at. And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this. See, look at that. 14, 18, 19, 20, 21 pack. That's a pretty decent loot. I've got 17, that's 51 peck worth of animal muscle oil, which, if you're starting out, there's a couple ways you can run with it. You can save it all up until you make 50 ped, which is going to take you a while. No ragging on it, that's kind of life. Alternatively, you can find someone who's willing to take small amounts off your hands. Depending on how small it is, they may only give you TT for it. Or they'll give you like 1 peck over TT if you're lucky. Because they need to make a profit on it too, and the market value on this is 103. Meaning for every ped worth that they get, they're only making 1 ped 3 pack. That's not really a lot. You know, that's a game of volume. Speaking of which, did I sell? No. Didn't sell nothing. Someone go buy those so I can make more videos. Selling animal kidney oil and animal muscle oil. But it's going to take you time to accumulate enough to make it worth your while to sell. On the auction house, you really want to have between 50 and 100 ped. You can do 200 ped. A lot of your bulk buyers will do that, but you're going to be sacrificing raw profit for volume. Kind of like getting bulk deals, you know? So, you know, throw your wares up for like 50 ped, you know, the 50 ped worth. If you're doing 103, say it's just straight 50, you're gonna get 5150 for it, minus the auction fee of like 50. You're gonna get like a ped out of it. It doesn't sound like a lot, and it's not, but you're still making more than you would have just selling it to the TT. And this really is a long game. You're in it for the long haul if you're playing this game at all. You just got to get used to it. That's just the way it works. And if you're not prepared for that, I don't feel sorry for you. You know, this game has the potential to train anyone to deal with anything you are going to have to face in real life, because the game is hard. It is a grind. You have to work for every penny you get. More importantly, if you're successful, you can withdraw it. 1,000 ped comes out at $100. It'll take Mind Arc 6 months to get it to you, but they'll do it. You need to put the effort in. Just like in real life, you got to put the effort in if you want to be successful. This game doesn't give you anything for free, and neither does life. I am in here. Some weeks I am in here every day for hours, grinding this out, learning the skills. I've been playing for a year and a half. I have 84,000 skill points. Actually, December's my 2nd anniversary, so I'm nearing 2 years. You gotta grind it. You gotta grind it. You gotta push. I will say if I die, I will end the video there. Whoops. Not out of embarrassment, but because then if I wanted to do this as a pure profit loss, I would have to heal or just wait. And I'm not going to make you stare while I wait for my regen to go up. It'd be funny, though. It's like, yeah, this is the episode where you just watch my health bar go up. People love progress bars. Have you noticed that? Health regen's a progress bar. Which, actually, we don't have a whole lot left, so that may not be an issue. And then, you know, I'm doing these newer videos, although I know there are other questions that I'm sure are going to be asked. You know, like, what do you hunt next? Where do you go from here? I showed how you can play the game on 10 ped. I actually really enjoyed doing that video. Now I'm showing you what it's like to start out with a long blade. I'm going to do one with a short blade because I said I would. I need to do all the TT weapons. I think it's really important that you see a realistic view of what hunting Punies is with each of the TT weapons. And I strongly encourage you to max out every TT weapon before moving on. I didn't. And I think that was a mistake, because now it's hard for me to judge where I should be at a minimum level for each of those weapons. You know, let's take a look at my skills. That's not my skills. These are my skills. This can go away. Combat. Heavy melee weapons, impressive. Light melee weapons, not so much. Melee combat, really good. Power fist, not a single hit. Short blades, I haven't done bupkis. I've done more than pistols or power fists. Whips, haven't touched. Where's pistols? Handguns. You saw me grind out most of that 101 points in my last episode. Clubs haven't touched a lot. Finding clubs is kind of interesting. You don't really find them anywhere. And then, where's sniper rifle? Here it is. My rifle's okay. I actually do a lot more rifle hunting now than I did. After doing my joint video, or Serial Overdrive recommended I record. I tried to record. I failed horribly at it. I ended up nuking that vid. But I did do a joint video with Serial Overdrive a while ago. I think it was last year. We were both on Arcadia. I was just trying to kind of photobomb him a little bit. I wanted to wave high and then kind of light out, but he's like, come do a video with me. I'm like, awesome, and then I totally screwed it up. Sorry, Serial. But that's when I started seriously taking a look at the rifle skills, because I couldn't keep up with him damage-wise. When you're a swordsman, when you're doing joint hunts, if you can't tow it with your enemy, you're going to not do enough to make the hunt worthwhile. You're not going to be giving any help to your allies unless you're all melee hunting. The only real exception to that is if you're like challenging the war chief, which is something I haven't done in a while. I should probably give that another shot. Where everything's right in that contained space, you're going to be useless, and that's not the way to be during a team hunt. Okay, we're getting like worryingly close to dead here, so we're actually going to call it after this mob, I think. That'll make sure we have enough to cut our way out. Loot's looking a bit soft this time around. I kind of expected it. I was hoping it would be a little bit better. That being said, our skill gains, like martial arts went up, which is an advanced skill. Anatomy went up. Oh, did I grab the loot from that mob? No, I didn't. Bad Julian. Longblade surprisingly went up, even though it was only a little. And I say that because it's already so high. Melee combat went up. Half a point. Strength went up just a touch. Strength is one of those skills that doesn't go up very fast at all. Serendipity. I don't even know what serendipity does. But that went up a little bit. So you can see all the skills that I got. Even my perception took a bonus out of it. So let's see exactly how this hunt turned out. And then you can decide for yourself whether melee weapons hunting would be worth it or not. So first off, let's unequip the weapon. We're going to drop that in. We still have 145 left. I could have hunted probably another 10 mobs, but that's okay. So 1028. So we lost a little under 5 ped, which isn't great, but it's not terrible. It's like 50 cents. So overall, I'll call that, you know, with the skills we got, I consider that acceptable. Whether or not you consider it acceptable, that's up to you. I mean, if you're putting $15 in a month, right? Whoops. Probably help if I... There we go. And you're getting 50 cents lost on each hunt, which it won't be an even 50 cents each time. And you're going to get some back in other areas. You're still able to do, because that was what, 30 minutes, and I have really high skills for this particular mission. You're still going to end up getting a pretty decent return of time. You're going to get at least, you know, if you're doing like an hour a day, you're going to get 15 solid days out of it. And the higher you go, the better the loot's going to get. So anyway, thank you for, that's the result here. Next time we're going to do short blades. Whoops. This one here. Then we're going to try out this bad boy. I have never done Power Fist. I'm actually looking forward to this one. They're really 10 ped? Okay. And this one's 9. I thought it was 8. It's 9. And then lastly, we'll do the Onyxio, because why not? So, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. Please make sure you... Right, I already said subscribe. We're on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Guys, thank you so much for all of your support. You all have a wonderful night.